off my head. The idea is out there. I don't know how it's going to be accepted and what people are going to do. I'm optimistic. Right? Lots of people are scared of AI. I'm not scared of AI. I think it's my dream. So I'm optimistic that at the end it's going to be better.
Today we are speaking with Eli Lopian. He is the author of AICracy, Beyond Democracy. Ellie, could you please introduce yourself? Let people know just a little more about you, please.
Sure, Ed. So I'm Eli Lopian. I was born and bred in London, but most of my life is actually in Tel Aviv in Israel. So I have a bit of an accent. I lost my British accent. I've been working in tech for quite some time. So I have this company which is called Typemark. We use AI to find bugs in our clients' systems. So I have quite knowledge in AI. And one day I was sitting with some of my friends and they were arguing in this bar, and it was really boring. They were just arguing, this is the right way to do it, that's the right thing. And I'm like sitting there completely bored out of my mind. And they're like, what's your stance about this? And I'm like, guys, you look, this is not my metaphor, but I said, guys, you're like these people traveling this train and you're fighting about what's the best seat to sit, the left side or the right side. One goes is shouting, that has more sun. The other goes, that has more breeze. And like you're screaming and whoever's loudest is like the correct person, but the train's not going in the right direction. Actually, there's no tracks actually to the right direction. And that's what I told them. I'm not going to go to this boring fight. I want to create a new track to a new place where we really want to be. And there's no tracks there. We're going to have to build it. We're going to have to visualize it and envision it and start making the new tracks to the place we want to go to. And they said, so what you're talking about, that made me think. And so I had to think to myself about what do I see as the future? What's going to make mankind better, happier, more abundance? And I came up with this system which I called AICracy. So that's basically where this thing came from. I had this way of thinking that I see the systems of things. It's like my ADHD thing. And so that's how my pitfall and my success is this kind of stuff. So that's basically what happened. And I was talking to people about that. And in the beginning, nobody liked it. Everybody was like really shocked and, taken back and stuff like that. And in time, when AI became more and more used and people enjoyed it more and people saw that you can use ways to get from place to place and it does it better than when you do it yourself because it has more knowledge, people started opening up a bit to it and they pushed me to write this book. So I wrote this book. And I hope it opens a discussion about where we're going and how we can make this really a better place.
Well, I can tell you, your book is kind of fascinating and it's really something to think about. It scares the heck out of me, Ellie. It makes me go, wow, wait a minute, because I use AI all the time and I see the advantage and I see the disadvantage in it. And it really depends on what model it's coming from and what information you're trying to extract from it. And if we really pay attention to that, what you're trying to do is awesome, because we do need that sort of a overlook on our systems nowadays, because I think we have lost control of things in my humble view. However, AI is in its infancy still, and that's what scares me. I use, for instance, Descript to transcribe my podcast, and it's only about 80% accurate. So that makes my brain spin a little bit when we get into these, and you say use 3 sentients or 3 models, AI models to, overlook each other. But what if all 3 are 80% out? And then, so what I'm getting at is it's still too early to implement this type of system in society.
That is really true, Ed. It is too early, but we're getting there, and we're getting there fast, right? So it's not going to be long where we see that it sees better than we can. And it's true. I say the same amount of numbers. I say about 80% of what AI gives you is correct, and 20% is just made up. And that's what we need humans nowadays to know. You need to be an expert to know which 20% is the correct 20% and which isn't. It just helps you get there faster. I always say technology just shortens the distance between the thought that you have and actually making it something that's real, something that's built. So it's doing that to us. It's helping us a lot. But just like Waze, as I said, helps you get to a place faster, AI can help us get to that new place, that we dream about faster. That's what I think. And it's not ready for it right now, but it's going to get there. And my biggest issue is not the AI itself, which we define what to do and how to get there. Have this abundance kind of a scale, and they're looking towards that abundance scale where everybody's happier and there's more resources for everyone and stuff like that. You can read it in the book. But I'm scared about human people, about people touching these systems and making it not correct, or making it for their own kind of messing with the system, basically hacking and stuff like that. And that's why I built 3 different systems that they all need to get to the same answer in order for something to become considered correct. And they're managed by 3 different people, right? One of them is by the government, one is by the opposition, and another by an NGO, and they should be completely disconnected, and they should get the same data, or should see the same data, but they should be managed differently. So if somebody does hack one system, you still have 2 systems that are okay, that should protect us. And this is my main issue about misuse. Because it's going to be ready in one time or another. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry for barging in. I don't like to cut in, but it's intriguing what you're saying here, because that's exactly what most people's fear is that human interaction. Because recently we witnessed Grok have this meltdown, and it basically, when you deal with models and you've got people programming the models, you've definitely got bias in the models. And this is the fear that we have to fear the most with AI, in my opinion. So the rogue actor is really the thing that blows us up the most. And do you have a idea about how to disqualify those individuals from entering the system?
So yes, I talked about it a bit right now, but there's a whole chapter about it, and the whole system is built on the fact that from the roots that people are going to try to tamper with it, and that's why it's built in such a way that it's going to be very difficult to tamper with it. There's a group of people that are always looking at it and making sure that it works okay. Every law that this system produces, it has a list of why this law is going to make the abundance of the people higher. It's going to give you a law, and you can check it. It says, okay, if we do this law in 6 months, whatever's going to happen. For example, and I'm just making this up, like in Norway, they have this thing that if you get fined, it's a percentage of your income, so that the rich people are hurt exactly the same as the poor people. It makes sense. So suppose an AI says this is gonna work. It's gonna like on speeding, and it's gonna lower the traffic deaths by whatever percentage, and that's gonna make life longer for most people. And that's gonna happen in 4 months. So you can actually check it and see that these laws are actually doing what they're supposed to do. And this is like rapid feedback, stuff that we do in technology. We don't really do that in governments. And we will be able to do that with these systems, right? And we have to do it with these systems, because otherwise you might have rogue players and stuff like that. So yes, the whole system is built around this idea, because it is scary. But I'm scared of what's happening today as well. It's also scary. Right?
That is very true. So, the real thing about AI to me is there's not a problem with the programming end of this. What we're pushing here is processing speed, the ability to process the information in the speed and the proper information being put out to you in a speed that is, we're all about fast these days. If we want it now. So what I'm seeing is they're really starting to develop and enhance the processing power of these, and therefore the cooling capacity in the machine. They're really starting to get an edge on this. I'm kind of watching that, because I think that's really the edge of AI, is these bigger machines, basically.
I think that's really true. Although technology-wise, we're going to be able to make that. Okay, we've seen it. It's not like a really big technological jump. I think quantum computing is going to be the big technology jump, where everything's going to be much faster and much quicker, and it's really aligned to how AI works with neural networks. The way that quantum computing is going, that's going to be the really big jump. And I think that you said infancy. I agree with you. What's going to happen with all this power? Who's going to control it? How is it going to be good for the people? That's basically what the book is about. How can we use this power so that we can have more abundance? That everybody should enjoy this gift that mankind made. That this machine can process so much more than humans can ever even input in their life, and give us some kind of a guidance that will help us, if we trust it, to get to the right place. One of the things that I think is going to happen in the future is the whole job shifting. Right, lots of things what we do nowadays we won't need to do anymore, and it's going to be a shift. And one of the things that I suggest is that governments, they give either an AI or a real person to consult everybody, kind of like a coach, where people will need to find what they really want to do in life. If you have all this freedom, because people are going to be might go crazy. What am I going to do with my life now that everything is there, but from AI? And I think that that's also really important. I think an AI can also help with people finding their passions, finding what they want to do, what they want to create in this life. Again, and this system is going to be completely different than the AICracy system. We don't want people's personal information going into those machines. Those AICracy machines should only know the global macro information. But these can actually help people, also have a really better life, with somebody to help you, guide you can talk to all the time. And it's going to happen. Like I've heard it already happening. This little AI microphones where people get real-time AI of whatever they're doing. It scares me now. They see my speech and the other person's as well. It's kind of like, but I think people are going to use it at one time or another. It's going to happen. And then, two people are going to be talking. It's going to be AIs negotiating instead of actually two people. But that's an idea for a movie, not. But it's going to happen, yeah.
Well, it's interesting, right now in the infancy stage, it's like when video games started. It was crude and really undeveloped, but as it grew, it really refined, and now you've got these VR headsets that allow you to immerse yourself into the game. And AI is being used like a game right now, and only a few serious minds like yours are touching into what it could be for humanity. And that sets it apart. So I'm interested in the councils that have to manage this system, because I don't know if we really necessarily want to rely on government. I think a shift to a council mindset where it's a group of individuals, and yeah, sure, bring in government people to the council, but I think this needs to be more revolving, if you will. So those rogue actors can't settle in like they have in government that we see today. What's your thought on that?
I completely agree with you. I think this is exactly what what we're trying to do here. Another thing that's interesting is that I think that everybody, any person can ask this AI to create a law. If he has an idea of a law that he thinks is possible, he can feed it into this AI machine. And the AI will do one of the two things. He either say, hey, it's a good idea, I'm going to continue doing it. Or he can say, no, it's not really a good idea, and here are the reasons why. Your idea is not taking into account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then people have this freedom of actually using their minds to actually change the government. It's just not just the government people that have the power and to make these laws, and we just give them the power and they're our representative. We have the technology that everybody nowadays can actually not even vote, but even bring up ideas, and that'll be really fast. You don't need to go through all this bureaucracy. So this is also something that the councils and the AI should have. It's a difficult thing about these councils, because if they are checking the AI, then who's checking them? So it's kind of like a thing like that. But basically, the AI, the whole system is built that it checks itself, because there's 3 different AIs that are not connected, and they have to give the same answer, the same laws together. And only when a red flag happens that something's not right, only then do these council go in and try to understand why technologically something's not happening there. It's somebody's been fiddling with the system, not the AIs are not getting the same data, somebody's messing with the data, or is it something else, and why aren't the 3 agreeing? And this is something that is important. They don't just do every law. They might in the beginning check it, or when they're asked to, they check every law that comes, they can do that backtracking and check it. But it's basically there if you get these red lights to see what's happening and to try to fix that. So yeah, so it's more like an agent, as you say, the AI agent is like working by itself basically.
Yeah, so I think it's unique here, and you mentioned earlier that the system is going to be apart from the internet, basically. And I'm wondering if, I'm wondering if the code itself, the like C++, the programming language, do we need to create a new programming language for this inside, so there's nothing like it and it can't be reproduced out on the internet? Is that possible? And what do you think of that?
Why would that be? It's an interesting idea, but what would be the advantage of that?
Well, I'm just thinking that therefore, the programmers of this system would be the only ones with access to the knowledge of how to alter the system, other than like the voice prompt through the microphone from a citizen saying, hey, I want to create this law, blah, blah. So, because hackers are genius. Go ahead.
I would go the other way around. I would open source the algorithm and tell everybody, this is all the code. If you find a bug, tell us. I would do exactly the opposite. I wouldn't hide the algorithm in the code. I would show to everybody or the 3 different systems and say, if anybody finds a bug here or something that's not good, tell us and we'll fix it. And we want a good system here. That system is going to be the one that's producing the laws that govern our country. I wouldn't do that hiding stuff. I'm not not Coca-Cola. It's something else. It's like open source. Yeah.
Well, I find it interesting because there's those rogue actors with the mindset of destruction to anything that wants to put a law in front of them. And you know, I can understand that mindset, but we need some sort of system to control outlaws, you know, those that will do harm to others just for pleasure or joy. And this is because there's these deviant people that will try to alter that. And I'm just wondering, how do we avoid this? Other than the triple system, you know, is there a more stringent method?
Yeah, so there's multiple layers here. It's not going to be 100% secure. There's multiple layers on this, and as time goes along, the systems get more secure, and so do the arbiters. They become more clever, and it's an ongoing fight here. But having those backup systems and having at the end a government who actually does vote on the laws, it's not automatic that the AI does the law, says the law, and that's it. We still have human beings at the end of the process. They're not allowed to write laws. They're not allowed to invent them. They can ask the AI to do it, and the AI can suggest these laws. But at the end, there is a government that says yes or no to a law. So we do have this system that is still human bound and not completely automatic. Another thing is that I don't think AI should ever judge people. I think that the jurisdiction and the judge system, even though it might not be perfect, it can't be AI. It has to be something human, and you have to have that human touch in it. And I wouldn't want to see any system where an AI would judge you. Maybe it would help you arbitrage or help the judges to see that they're not biased or whatever. But it has to be a human being that does that thing. So that's also one important thing about my system is don't touch that. That's something that I wouldn't. Because I've been hearing people thinking about changing the whole jurisdiction system to make it AI. I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, we're at the cutting edge of some sort of transformation in how we do things. It's just come to that level of rapid knowledge and understanding is not following it as quick as the information is coming. So I think beyond democracy is really a key element there, because that's what we're talking about today, is going beyond democracy at a higher level. Is that not correct?
That's true. I think that democracy is not really working in this day and age. We see that there are lots of even people from outside the country that are affecting us through social media and making us choose stuff that we didn't even think we wanted. For example, even the Brexit is something that has been discussed about. The people didn't really want it. There was somebody who did want it, and he used social media to program the people. We don't want this. Something's broken with democracy. It was great. It's the best system we know. I wouldn't change it with anything else yet, but we've outgrown it in so many ways. And we need to find something that can replace it. And this is where I'm going, because in my book I have like a whole chapter about what's wrong with democracy. Right? It's not the loudest person is always the correct person, and stuff like that. So there's great things in democracy. I wouldn't, throw as they say, throw away the water with the baby with the water. But we do need to see how are we going to continue when we see all these flaws happening in democracy, where the little power groups, they get all the power, and you can't, it's hidden. You don't really know what's happening around them. It's really hard to navigate this way, and the trust, it gets eroded a bit. And I think the first step is actually to have the AI system just score every law that comes out. It gives it a abundance score. Like, okay, this law, it's going to help this and this and this group, but it's not going to really help this and this and help this group. And it's going to make these people happier, but these people, we might be able to have this system beforehand just to give us scores. And the people can trust the system more and more when they see that, it's actually helping us to create better and better laws. So this is basically, I think, this is the structure of how it's going to be built. But yeah, so I don't think democracy is really working, especially I'm sitting in my bar with my friends, and all they're doing is shouting at each other. That's not fun.
Yeah. So it kind of sounds like rank math voting, where it's structured in that sense, where it's a sliding scale and it has to hone in on it's kind of confusing in a way, but yet that's what we're looking at is a rank math voting system in a way, is it not?
So I think this is the basis of how this system works. There is kind of a scoring system, and the AI or whatever that looks at, I call it the abundance score, but it's just a blueprint. You can choose whatever you want to. And I have kind of like a formula there about how to measure this. But it could be anything that we as humans want, thrive for. And the AI would make the right rules, the right gaming rules, so that we reach our goals. This is really, really exciting, because the AI doesn't really have right now any feelings or any wants or anything that he wants to do. But if we program him, okay, this is what we want the outcome to be, then he can be really good at that. And he knows he has this goal. Okay, I'm looking at this, and he can measure it, and he can make special tests in small places to see what happens when we do one or two, or have these different ideas about testing new ideas and new laws, and see how that works, and getting it back, and then deciding to implement it. It's like a whole system about how this stuff can actually work. It's actually really exciting. So on one hand, it's scary. On the one hand, it's really exciting. What can we do with this? And people can vote not for just a representative. They can actually vote for a policy, right? They can say, okay, I'm voting to be whatever, more social or more whatever, and I'm voting that we should have more taxes or less taxes, whatever. And people can actually vote on policies instead of voting people. And that way, 4 or 5 policies, you don't need to, vote everything. That will be too much for, But, every couple of years, every 4 years, you vote for, this is what I believe, and this is the way that I think we need more of this and less of that. And then the AI will take that together and make this happen in a way that I don't even know myself how it's possible. He's going to have much more data than me, so.
Well, that's interesting, Ellie, because it starts with a book, and that's a spark of an idea. It's substance for people to grab onto and think about. So is there a group that you've initiated to bring this about, and a think tank, if you will?
Well, no, not yet. It's a good idea. I just thought about that thought. The first step of this thought is to write this book. I'm discussing it with lots of people. As I said in the beginning, like last year, I got a lot of rejects from the idea. People hated the idea. And now people are more open to the idea. It's they're like, okay, that can actually work. Now that they see what AI can do, they're actually like, okay, that can actually work. So we're not there yet, but I think it's we're moving in that direction. Yeah, I would like to see more conversations about it. I'd like to see more discussion about it, because I'm not sure that I have the exact 100% way of doing it. I know that I don't. And I'm sure that there are brilliant minds out there that they can fill in holes that maybe I can't even see. I think that it's a group thing, and I think that I'm inviting, anybody who wants to join this conversation, if they like it and even if they don't like it, everything's fine. Lots of people in the beginning, when I said something, they said, "Oh, I don't like it because of 1, 2, 3." It gave me an idea that is actually something that's true. You have to worry about it and to give a solution to that. So, we're open for everything. It's just there should be a discussion about it, and we should see how it should best fit us, to move to the next step.
Yeah, that's always how things start to roll. And, I really do see this need for a change, because there's so many that have maneuvered themselves into positions into governments, and even, we're seeing fascism rise in the world, and that's a collusion, and we need to really think about that. This is one of the great things about technology and how we get things going. So there is going to be a lot of those individuals that are gripping on to power that are going to hate this, and they will do everything to derail it in many ways. So how do we nudge ourselves in front of that curve and make sure that people are seeing it before those YouTubers, those Facebook people, those detractors get a hold of it and start twisting what you're trying to do here?
That is a great question, and I don't think I have an answer for it. Truly enough, it's a really good question. Off my head, the idea is out there. I don't know how it's going to be accepted and what people are going to do. I'm optimistic. Like, lots of people are scared of AI. I'm not scared of AI. I think it's my dream. So I'm optimistic that at the end it's going to be better. I wrote a sub-story within that book about exactly this, this stuff happening. This group of people coming together and trying to mess with the AI, and the council actually found out that this happened because of bad data, and they managed to fix it and even find out via the AI who did it and why they did it. So it's going to be it's a long game. It's not a short game. And there are going to be ups and downs, and lots of things are going to happen there. And I think the worst things, I don't even see them. I built a startup. I know what happens. You have this idea, and you go forward, and something blocks you, and you had no idea it even exists, this thing. And you have to think about how to overcome it. And but once you have that direction, you know what you're doing, you know what you're getting to. It can happen. Yes, it's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So give us your 5 and 10 year projection for AI.
For AI.
Yeah, and your system-based AI.
So I think 5 years, it's going to be, lots of people are going to be feeling it with loss of jobs, and lots of people are going to have to rethink what they're doing. We might see that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer at this stage. They have a few companies with all the power, and they deserve it because they had this AI machine. It's an amazing thing. It's not that, and that can change because once it becomes unbalanced in such a way, it won't exist. It's going to have to split up. It's going to change in some way or another, either by taxing the AIs that swap human beings, or some other ideas that I've heard are flying around. So every AI that swaps your job, he has to pay tax, like you had to pay to the government or something like that. Or some other idea about the redistribution of stuff. And I think that in 10 years it's going to settle down, and we're going to see how how this new age of AI is going. I find it hard to see that far with all the social and stuff that's happening. But I do see that democracy is not going to work, where we're going to get bombarded with all these AI movies that know exactly from Facebook, exactly, or from your socials, what you want and what your fears are and what you like, and it will change your mind to voting, whatever. That's going to stop, and we're going to see something else. And I don't know what it is. It might be AICracy, it might be something else, but I think that within 10 years we'll see a big difference.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's not about the AI, it's about us.
Yes, exactly. That's human-centric, and that's really what we need to focus on, because at the end of the day, we bleed, machines don't, and that means something. Biological entities, we live, we are born, and we have a kinship. We need to think about that. And I really think that people are starting to settle down a little bit, because they're not getting as stressed in situations because of different AI scenarios. You see all of these little cute baby images and animal images, all of these fun things people are...
Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoots. People are getting into this AI, and it is helping people overcome the depressions and all of these things that we've been witnessing in the past several years, the hate, the violence. With this new AI, I've been seeing a lot more of this cutesy coming in, and I think that might send a mind shift into our culture. What do you think?
I had this discussion today with a colleague of mine, and the question arose is, are we getting stupider as a human race? Are we using this AI making us really less able to think and more Wall-E-like than Terminator kind of thing? Are we getting stupider and just want that little dopamine hit from social media? And I think the answer is yes, we are, and it's not a good sign for what I think. I think that being smarter is amazing. It takes work, but it's really good for you, and we should keep on doing that. And when I get something from AI, I always check it, and it always gets back the vanilla solution first, and then I say, okay, but what's not the vanilla? What's another solution? Give me this angle, give me another angle, until I get that thing that, okay, this is actually what I want. And that's something that people, they get that 80%. We talked about that, and they're happy with that. I got 80% in my test. I'm happy with that. But no, we need to train that nowadays that 80% is only 20% really, and that's the thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's really big. I've witnessed that myself, and that's kind of what the Dead America podcast is working on. We're trying to tell people, educate yourself. Life is more than what you're seeing. So a lifelong learning experience is so fulfilling in many ways, and you'll overcome all of that depression because you have lifted yourself up anyway. So I really like what people are doing with AI, but yeah, that is a concern with a lot of people. However, I think we're still in the infancy stage, and like the video games, they're just playing with it because it's new, it's exciting, and as it gets older and it progresses, we're going to see the serious side of AI start creeping in. And that's really what I'm waiting for. I love all of this cutesy stuff, but when are we going to see, a system like what you're talking about, AICracy, and can it actually help propel us into a different state of mind? It's exciting.
Very exciting. Actually, we're actually seeing these systems now. We can see some of these systems that are not just for fun. AI being used for serious stuff. Lots of it, some of it is in stock markets, and some of it is in creating different tools and stuff like that, which is serious. Like my company, we use AI to find bugs in systems. So it's not just playing around. It's a serious thing, and we do see serious things, but not in the scale that I'm talking about now. Not in the scale where like you have the whole democracy change to an AICracy.
Yeah, I've spoken with some people that they make models for the medical industry, and they are they're taking images of cancer cells, and this, like we spoke about, that speed of diagnostics, it's getting exciting there also. So there's a lot of use case scenarios that we all are going to be witnessing. But like you said earlier in our conversation, all of that still has to be backed up by a human eye. So, it really does speed diagnostics up, but in the end, the human eye really has to look at it and determine, okay, yes or no.
Yeah, take the responsibility. Yes.
Exactly. That's the key right there, taking the responsibility. Because in many ways, when we shrug that responsibility, that takes us back to Nazi Germany. And I don't like to think about that scenario. And we're living in such critical times, and that shift could happen very easily. So, is there anything else that we should discuss about your book that we have not discussed?
I think we've covered most of it. I'm sure there's other stuff in it that we haven't discussed. I had a great time talking to you. It was fun.
Yeah, I get deep into this stuff. I love just thinking about how it's going to work and transpire, because we're all involved, whether we want it or not. So you'd better know what you're getting into and what it's all about. Don't be afraid. It's exciting and scary at the same time. Just grab a bag of popcorn like you're at a movie,
Exactly. I always told myself that if I'm not afraid at least one time a day, it's a waste of a day. Have to be a tiny bit scared.
That's right. I like that a lot. So tell people how they can get this awesome book and how they can connect with you, Ellie.
So the book they can get from Amazon, it's AICracy. There's a site that I just built called AICracy.ai, which you can browse and get some more information there. And I'm probably going to create some kind of a way to connect on that site. It's in the doing right now. And but you can always connect to on the site. There's a contact me, so you can connect there. And I'd like to see people picking up the discussion. Even everything's good. You like it, you don't like it. I want to hear everything. I'm excited. The best things come from the people who didn't like it. The best things came from the people who said no.
That's right. I like it. I like what you're doing out there. I really enjoyed our discussion today, and I want to say thank you for being here and sharing this with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. If you found this podcast enlightening, entertaining, educational in any way, please share, like, subscribe, and join us right back here next week for another great episode of the Dead America Podcast. I'm Ed Waters, your host. Enjoy your afternoon, wherever you might be.